Right now, new questions are being raised about police pursuits after 3 people die overnight. Also, the countdown to the Iowa caucuses is on. A look at what the GOP presidential hopefuls are up against. And old rules for new drivers return. How getting a driver's license in Wisconsin is changing. You're watching News 3 now at 5. We are continuing to follow a fatal crash in Cottage Grove last night that stemmed from a police chase. It started just after 9 p.m. when Monona police tried to pull over what they considered a suspicious vehicle at Nichols and Monona Drive. A spike strip was used. The car crashed near the intersection of Femrite at Buckeye Road in Cottage Grove. All 3 people in that vehicle died at the scene. No officers were injured during the incident. The DOJ and State Patrol are currently investigating. Now, the crash is highlighting the differences between local police departments when it comes to their pursuit policies. Some, like Monona, have been more aggressive when it comes to initiating chases, while others are more selective. Our Maddie Heimsch dove into those policies, talked to experts who help train officers.
When it comes to police pursuits, each law enforcement agency creates their own policy. I spoke with experts about how these policies reflect on police departments as a whole. The Monona Police Department and the Dane County Sheriff's Office were involved in Tuesday night's chase that ended in a fatal crash. Law enforcement expert Brian Landers told me their respective policies could have affected their part in the chase.
And generally speaking, any agency that has less restrictive policies, I would say, they find themselves in court more.
Monona PD's manual authorizes officers to pursue a vehicle when they have reason to believe the suspect is attempting to evade arrest. But some agencies like the Dane County Sheriff's Office have more restrictive policies, saying pursuit should only be used if it's more dangerous to let the suspects go free. Landers says leaving the decision up to officers could lead to more unpredictable outcomes.
So agencies that don't have very strong policies or policies that are specifically guide an officer, especially in kind of heat of moment situations like pursuits, generally do have more problems.
A study by the Bureau of Justice Statistics found that agencies that leave pursuits solely to officer discretion had double the rate of pursuits than agencies with more restrictive policies. And as highlighted in the first sentence of the Monona PD manual section on pursuits, it's something that could potentially expose citizens and violators to serious injury or death.
Pursuits are inherently dangerous in law enforcement.
The incident is now under investigation by the Wisconsin Department of Justice. If you would like to learn more about Monona PD's pursuit policy, we have a deep dive posted on channel3000.com. In Monona, I'm Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
Maddie, thank you. Let's get a look now at your first warn forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Kinalty is out on the weather patio. Gary?
Yeah, pretty quiet out here right now, and temperatures are seasonably cold. We start the new year with temperatures closer to average. That's been a change from December when we averaged almost 10 degrees above normal as far as temperatures for the entire month. But we also have a first warn weather alert day in the forecast for Monday night into Tuesday of next week for the potential for several inches of accumulating snow as well as windy conditions. Visible cloud track, lots of clouds around here. That's been the theme. It actually keeps temperatures up at night. You can see on high resolution radar, though, not much in the way of precipitation. There could be a few flurries or a little patchy freezing drizzle. Low temperatures this morning started out in the lower 20s. Right now they're in the upper 20s to around 30. They're not going to change very much this evening. In fact, right now 31 degrees in Middleton, 29 in Stoughton. Otherwise, look for partly to mostly cloudy skies this evening. Temperatures holding nearly steady within a degree or 2 of 30. Later on, I'll take a look at that winter storm potential in a little more detail, what we can expect early next week.
Gary, thank you. A short winter break for the Badger men's basketball team is now over. They're back at the Kohl Center tonight hosting Iowa. It is the Big Ten home opener. News 3 Now Sports Director Zach Hanley is live there tonight. He is just back from Tampa and has a preview of the action. Zach, welcome home.
Yeah, it was a quick trip. As you mentioned, Big Ten opener, home opener for the Badgers, and it's always a big game when Iowa's in town. The Badgers are 1-0 undefeated in conference play, while the Hawkeyes enter 0-2, but they also are on a 3-game win streak. Last year's series went to Wisconsin. They won both games. But this year, tonight, they might have to do it without the guy that runs the show, Chucky Hepburn. He's listed as questionable with that apparent groin injury he suffered against Chicago State on December 22nd. He missed basically the entire second half. So if Chucky Hepburn can't go, look for Kamari McGee or John Blackwell to step up in his place. Tip-off is set for 6 o'clock. Big Ten home opener for the Badgers. Hawkeyes, doesn't get any better than this. We'll have highlights and reaction coming up tonight at 10. For now, live at the Kohl Center, Zach Hanley, News 3 Sports.
Zach, thank you. A woman is facing charges in an East Side stabbing on New Year's Eve. Police say it happened at a house on Jennifer Street near the Willie Street Co-op. Officers say they arrived to find a chaotic scene. First responders took a 43-year-old man to the hospital with stab wounds. He is expected to survive. The woman arrested faces charges, including first-degree recklessly endangering safety. 2 people are facing charges after leading deputies on a high-speed chase. Started in Jefferson County about 10:20 on New Year's Eve. Dodge County deputies say the suspects were going 110 miles an hour on Highway 26. At one point, deputies put out spike strips, but the car kept going for a while on its rims, eventually stopping. That's when the driver took off running. A passenger was then arrested. The driver later found after falling into a river. He was treated for hypothermia and will be charged for the pursuit. The passenger facing drug charges and also resisting arrest. In Milwaukee, a man is in custody after shooting a police officer during a standoff this morning. Officers were called to a domestic violence incident involving a gun. When they got there, the suspect was uncooperative. A shootout then started between the suspect and officers. One officer was shot. The suspect then retreated into the house with 4 children inside. After several hours of negotiations, the suspect released the children, then surrendered. A firearm was also recovered. The officer injured in the shooting was taken to a hospital. He is expected to survive. There were no objections placing former President Donald Trump on Wisconsin's April 2nd presidential primary during a special meeting today. The Presidential Preference Selection Committee, made up of lawmakers and leaders from both the state Democratic and Republican parties, opted not to discuss a petition to keep Trump off the ballot. The Republican delegation named 6 candidates, including Trump. The Democratic delegation named only 1 candidate, President Joe Biden, opting to leave long-shot challengers Marianne Williamson and Representative Dean Phillips of Minnesota off. Candidates not approved have until January 30th to file a petition to appear on the primary ballot. 46% of Americans say Donald Trump's actions related to January 6th should disqualify him from the presidency. That's according to a new poll. Another 17% say his actions cast doubt on whether he's fit for the job, and 33% say his role in what happened on January 6th is irrelevant to being president again. The Washington Post and University of Maryland survey was taken December 14th through the 18th. That's just before the Colorado Supreme Court ruled Trump is not an eligible presidential candidate under the 14th Amendment's insurrection ban, removing him from that state's primary election ballot. In less than 2 weeks, Iowa's Republican voters will gather to caucus for their presidential candidates. Former President Trump is the clear frontrunner there, leaving the other candidates to battle for second place. Natalie Brand has the details from Washington.
Republican presidential hopefuls are crisscrossing Iowa looking for any voter who may still be undecided less than 2 weeks from caucus night.
I wish I could say exactly who I was caucusing for and exactly who I wanted, but I'm having a hell of a hard time.
Jason Dent told CBS News he's leaning toward former President Donald Trump, but also has concerns about Trump's electability.
I don't want to waste my vote and vote for him and then something happened to him. It's a tough call.
Voter Emily Lydiak, firmly against the former president, worries about a potential second term.
I don't think he would actually care about policies and helping the nation and the people of this country. I think it would just be him getting back at the people that he feels did him wrong.
The latest state polls still show Trump with a commanding lead, but the race for second place appears much tighter.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has a slight lead over former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. Vivek Ramaswamy is a distant fourth with 7%.
It's good to see you guys.
DeSantis and Ramaswamy have poured significant campaign time and resources into Iowa, both visiting all 99 counties in the state.
I'm leaning towards Ron for presidential candidate.
Haley and Christie are focusing their efforts this week on New Hampshire, where they've garnered more support in the latest polling. The Granite State hosts the first in the nation GOP primary on January 23rd. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
DeSantis and Haley have both criticized Trump over his decision to skip next week's Republican primary debate in Des Moines. At least 5 people are dead, 112 injured in Ukraine today after an extensive Russian missile attack overnight. It targeted the Ukrainian cities of Kyiv and its surrounding region, and also Kharkiv. That's according to local officials there. In a statement, the Russian Ministry of Defense says it targeted Ukraine's military-industrial complex and sites used for the storage, production, and repairs of weapons, missiles, and ammunition. The statement added, quote, "The purpose of the strike has been achieved." Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky condemned the attacks and vowed that Russia will be held accountable for every life taken. CBS News has learned the Biden administration is open to immigration reform in exchange for funding for Ukrainian aid. This comes as record levels of migrants try to cross into the U.S. Authorities encountered more than 225,000 migrants in December. That's the highest monthly total in more than 20 years. This weekend, Texas Governor Greg Abbott sent hundreds of asylum seekers to Chicago, apparently with no notice. Chicago has become one of many American cities with an influx of migrants. Israel is pulling thousands of troops out of the Gaza Strip. This step could clear the way for lower intensity fighting against Hamas and a scaled back offensive that could last for much of 2024. The Gaza Health Ministry says almost 22,000 Palestinians have been killed since the war started in October. Today, the president of Harvard, Claudine Gay, announced in a letter to the Harvard community that she is stepping down. Gay's responses at a congressional hearing last month and an ongoing plagiarism scandal made her the subject of intense public scrutiny. At the House hearing, she was criticized for a lack of direct answers about policies and procedures to combat bullying and harassment of Jewish students since the start of the Israel-Hamas conflict. Harvard announced its provost, Alan Garber, will now serve as interim president until it finds a new president.
What happened to Claudine Gay was mob pressure to force her to resign. So even if what she did was something that should have led to her termination, we never got to that point. We got to the point where people were yelling at her on social media and subjecting her to attacks that she didn't deserve. And rather than having a careful deliberation, which is what we do at a university, we had her subject to a mob to force her resignation.
At just 6 months, Gay had the shortest presidency of any Harvard president since the college was founded. At least 30,000 people in Ishikawa had taken shelter in evacuation centers. That was as of this morning after a deadly 7.5 magnitude earthquake hit western Japan on New Year's Day. The quake caused fires and flooding, damaged homes and roads, and triggered the country's highest tsunami alert. That has since been downgraded, but residents near the coast are still warned not to return home. The last such tsunami alert was back in 2011 when an 8.9 magnitude quake hit Japan, killing thousands and causing that meltdown at the Fukushima nuclear plant. It was a year of explosive growth in the use of artificial intelligence. Security experts are now warning the U.S. faces increased hacking threats from criminals and foreign governments this year, a crucial election year. A former FBI executive assistant director said on CBS Mornings that AI has been able to overcome some online security systems, gaining access into corporate networks. It's also being used to spread misinformation through the creation of videos, audio, and text files that seem believable.
People always have to look at the source of information. You can't just look at something and accept it as true. You've got to verify where it came from. Who's telling the story? What is their motivation? And can you verify it through multiple sources?
On a positive note, he adds that he does not think AI is a major threat to voting machines, mostly because the U.S. election system is not centralized and has wide variations state to state on the way people vote. Coming up, a complete look at your First One forecast with Gary and a major recall that's going to have you check in your refrigerator. You don't want to miss this next on News 3 Now at 5. And on Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average ticking up on the first trading day of the year, up 25.5. The NASDAQ takes a 246-point dive. The S&P 500 loses an even 27. And we'll be right back.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, farm is in our name, so you know we're animal experts, offering the quality pet food, supplies, and advice you need for healthy, happy pets. Right now, get a free $20 gift card when you spend $100 on Hill's Science Diet dog or cat food. 40-pound bags of black oil sunflower seed, $21.99. And save on Blaine's antifreeze and coolant, $10.79 a gallon. Plus, order select pet and animal prescriptions online at blainesrx.com.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. A concert experience you won't want to miss. It's the Commodores. Performing live Saturday, February 17th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. 70 million albums sold, 7 #1 hits. The Grammy Award-winning Commodores. February 17th at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With inflation rising at record levels and incomes not keeping pace, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes. And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles.
Try it this new year for only $14.95. Plus, get free shipping. Visit plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
A police chase turns fatal in Monona. 3 lives lost and an investigation is underway. We dive into the department's policies and training for pursuits. Then find out how the literacy group is changing lives for many refugees. That's tonight at 6.
News 3 Now's Call for Action team is here for you, exposing scams, mediating consumer disputes, and getting results. Contact us by phone or on channel3000.com.
Call for Action only on News 3 Now.
We're taking action for you.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
A recall alert. Time to check the fridge. Nearly 7,000 pounds of ground beef products have been recalled due to a risk of E. coli. Those products were produced by Valley Meats on December 22nd. The USDA says the E. coli contamination was discovered during routine testing. There have been no reports of any illness, but the agency does believe those products could still be in freezers and refrigerators. Consumers are being urged to either throw away the products or return them to the store. Some powdered baby formula is being pulled from shelves due to contamination issues. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration warned consumers of possible bacterial contamination in Reckitt Mead Johnson's Nutramigen hypoallergenic powdered infant formula products. Manufacturers voluntarily recalled more than 675,000 cans of that formula. That was after the formula tested positive for Chronobacter bacteria, which can cause rare but potentially deadly infections in newborns. A look now at your first warn forecast. Here is Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Well, let's start out with a first warn weather alert day that we have in the forecast for Monday night into Tuesday of next week. This is for accumulating snow and windy conditions. Right now, we're probably looking at a moderate snowfall, maybe somewhere in the 2 to 6 inch range, according to the latest computer models. And this will be mainly, the snow will start late Monday afternoon, but most of the accumulating snow will be Monday night into Tuesday morning, early Tuesday afternoon of next week, and then it'll taper down to flurries after that. But the strong winds could cause some problems as well with blowing snow. As we take a look at future track from the European computer model, this is at noon on Monday. Notice the snow already approaching west of the Mississippi River. There'll be some rain in the southern part of the storm. But as we head into Monday night, this is midnight, early Tuesday morning, and snow overspreading much of southern Wisconsin. There could be a mix of rain and snow south and east of Madison, but eventually this will change over to all snow as we head into Tuesday morning. And then as we get toward noon on Tuesday, we may start to see it change over to flurries. Now, this computer model actually has it warm enough for maybe a little bit of a rain-snow mix, but I'm thinking more in the way of snow because of strong north to northwesterly winds that will be ushering down colder air. And notice by midnight, early Wednesday morning, the accumulating snow is pretty much over with. The European computer model showing about a 2 to 4 or 5 inch snowfall through southern Wisconsin. There could be pockets that are a little bit more than that. The US GFS computer model shows about the same through the Madison area, but it's interesting. It shows the main heavy band of snow staying to our south. There's really no mix of precipitation there. And also a band of heavier snow out to the west, and we're kind of in between. So again, we're still looking a week out, but the potential is there for a snow that's impactful enough that you may have to change some of your plans as we get closer toward the snowfall. But right now, on high-resolution radar, there might be a couple of flurries or a little patchy freezing drizzle out there. Not looking at much across most of the upper Midwest. Just too light to be detected by radar. 6-hour future track radar, you know, a flurry or two showing up here or there, but that's pretty much about it. Otherwise, 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Just a slight chance of flurries tonight, but also for the day tomorrow, and then from Friday night into Saturday and Sunday. So short term into the weekend, not looking at too much in the way of active weather. Seasonal temperatures too, with high temperatures upper 20s to lower 30s, which is closer to where we should be, and then that snow potential from Monday night into Tuesday of next week. Planning your night, look for mostly cloudy skies. We'll see a few flurries or a little patchy freezing drizzle. Notice by midnight temperatures about the same where they were at 9 p.m. of 3 a.m., pretty much the same as they were at midnight. We're not seeing much in the way of movement in temperatures, probably dropping down to about 28 degrees by early on Wednesday morning. Planning your night across Dane County, low of 28 in Oregon, 29 in Mount Vernon, and 28 for the overnight low in DeForest. Across the rest of southern Wisconsin, Janesville should drop to 30, Lone Rock 29, 30 for the overnight low in Baraboo. For tomorrow, look for mostly cloudy skies, just a slight chance for a flurry. High temperature at 34 degrees in the first warned 7 to 10 day forecast. 30 on Thursday with partly sunny skies. Back to the clouds Friday, maybe a flurry chance Friday night into Saturday and Sunday. That shouldn't amount to very much, but again, it's from Monday afternoon, late Monday afternoon to Monday night and Tuesday. That's where the snowfall accumulation potential is. And then after that, we'll turn a little colder with some chances for some snow showers or flurries. As we check out first warn traffic, traffic's pretty light on the roads today. It's the day after a holiday. Beltline, no problems. We're seeing some minor slowdowns on US 12 westbound north of Middleton. That's about it as far as problems around Dane County. 15 to 16-minute trip either way on the Beltline between University Avenue and I-3990. Sun Prairie inbound to downtown Madison is 19 minutes. Heading back outbound, it's 18 minutes today. US 12 Middleton to Sauk City is 17 minutes. And I-3990 from the Beltline to Janesville will take you 26 minutes. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic.
Gary, thank you. Just ahead of you have a student driver in the house. Some big changes in 2024 for driver's tests. We're going back in time a bit. That story next at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
We're often asked,
is it really free to hire Gruber Law Offices?
The answer is yes. The call, the consultation, free. You pay nothing until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
The bag is back at Menards. Get 15% off everything you can fit in the bag, from household items and pet toys to power tools and even your favorite snacks. Get 15% off everything you can fit in the bag. This deal won't last long. Hurry in to get your bag and see how much you can save. Sale ends January 14th.
Save big money at Menards.
Stella uses AT&T. Abby has Spectrum One. With AT&T, Stella pays $110 a month for her internet and mobile.
Plus monthly fees. Ouch.
With Spectrum One, Abby gets internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and a free unlimited mobile line.
That's a good deal. I know.
Abby saves big, over $75 a month. That's over $900 in savings.
I'm switching to Spectrum.
Call, click, or visit a Spectrum store to get Spectrum One.
Do more together this holiday in the Chevy that's right for you. The award-winning Chevy Equinox, the hard-working Chevy Silverado, or the all-new high-tech Chevy Trax. Whatever your plans are this season, do more in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or current Chevy owners get $5,000 total cash allowance on this Silverado.
See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
It's a robotic money expert.
Clever. How do I start a savings habit?
Famous cabbage.
Savings habit.
Shaving rabbits.
Tech can make life simpler, but when it comes to savings habits, nothing's as simple as BMO. A BMO savings account helps you build the habit with a cash reward every month you save.
Cash reward? Ingenious.
Sardine Fest.
This year's top prize goes to BMO.
I'm just in it for the saving, but it's nice to be recognized.
BMO. Hello, everyone. I'm giving this lamp away. I'm interested. Great. When can you pick it up? Hello? I'm interested. Can you pick it up today? Why did you message me? I'd be interested. Are you, though? Yeah. You bring lamp to me.
Save yourself the hassle of selling stuff online and donate it to the Salvation Army instead. Now accepting donations at our new Madison location, opening this February.
After a serious crash, the insurance company wants to pay you as little as possible. Call Gruber Law Offices first. We'll fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
For 3.5 years, Wisconsin parents could sign off on their kids getting a driver's license without them taking a road test. But now they're back to doing it the old way, getting behind the wheel at the DMV. Our Kyle Pozorski spoke with a driving instructor about the change and the impact it'll have. Kyle?
The pilot program designed to ease a backlog of teens trying to get their driver's licenses during the height of the pandemic is now over. Overall, driving instructors say it's a good move getting that one last check before letting our youngest of drivers out on the roads.
They got to do it back the old way.
Dave Gratz of the Oregon Area Driving School says he's seen a lot of unprepared drivers in his years.
I drove semi for quite a few years, so I've seen a lot of things on the road that can go wrong.
The driving instructor of
about 10 years
says the pilot program by the Department of Transportation served out its purpose.
I was somewhat surprised that it lasted as long.
It was in May of 2020, a time most of us want to forget at the height of the pandemic, when the DOT implemented the program that allowed parents to sign a waiver, letting their teens skip the road test and get a probationary license. At the time, it was called innovative by the state agency. The DOT says the program's permanent implementation didn't come to fruition due to the state legislature. Now, 3.5 years later, it's back to the DMV for teen drivers, all to obtain that coveted piece of plastic. A move Gratz approves.
It's just that extra check.
All to ensure the safety of others.
We're trying to make sure you know how to control the car, you know the rules of the road, and you're not going to put anybody in danger by being out there on the road.
And Eric, today a DOT representative told me that during the time of the course, more than 170,000 teen drivers were signed off to drive by parents.
Kyle, thank you. We'll have a final check of your first warn forecast after a short break.
Dear all-wheel drive, let's show the road what we've got. Snowy streets, we're coming for you. Icy grip, we're holding tight. Wintry mix, meh. Safety's the name of our game. Yours, Toyota all-wheel drive sedans.
Right now, get 4.99% APR for 60 months on a new Toyota RAV4, Corolla, Highlander, Tundra, or Crown. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, farm is in our name, so you know we're animal experts, offering the quality pet food, supplies, and advice you need for healthy, happy pets. Right now, save $2 on all Blaine's Farm and Fleet dog and cat food. 40-pound bags of Blaine's wild bird food, just $15.99. Keep you and your pets warm with Easy Heat wood fuel pellets, just $4.99 a bag. Plus, order select pet and animal prescriptions online at blainesrx.com.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Want to instantly look more attractive, years younger, and even healthier? The solution is whiter teeth. Even teeth that are just a little yellow are a problem. They rob your appearance, make you look older, and can hurt your confidence. But you love coffee and tea, maybe even wine or smoking, and all of them stain your teeth and make them yellow. It's time you discovered Power Swabs, the fast 5-minute revolutionary treatment.
The first time I tried it, I was so surprised.
My husband was so excited that he wanted to run out and get it. He said, "What have you been trying?" I said, "Well, I've tried this product called Power Swab." And he said, "I can't believe how white your teeth are." So from that point on, I've been sold.
My absolute favorite thing was how easy it was. It takes literally less than 5 minutes.
Power Swabs has made a really big difference in lifting the stains and making my smile more beautiful.
Power Swabs are guaranteed to whiten your teeth up to 2 shades after the first application. And after 5-minute daily treatments for the next week, your teeth will be an average of 6 shades whiter. Plus, unlike other whitening methods, Power Swabs will whiten natural teeth and remove stains from veneers, bonding, caps, and crowns. Power Swabs are easier on your gums and cause less sensitivity.
I've used strips and trays, and they both gave me really sensitive teeth. With the Power Swabs, I've been using them for a week and nothing. I had hot coffee this morning and ice cream last night and no problems.
It's time to discover what you've been missing. Now, it's your turn to get started with Power Swabs.
I like my smile. I like my smile after finishing the Power Swabs.
This is a Power Swab smile.
This is a Power Swab smile.
This is a Power Swab smile.
Call, go online, or scan the code on your screen right now to receive 50% off this new year. You'll also receive the Power Swabs Stain Out Quick Stick, absolutely free. And in addition, you will also get free shipping. Order right now and take the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge. If your teeth aren't a full 2 shades whiter after your first application, simply return it and you'll get your money back.
Coming up tonight on the CBS Evening News. In our series, Guns in America, we meet doctors on the front lines of the gun violence epidemic, what they say about the impact on youth. Those headlines and more on the CBS Evening News.
And coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 6, people gathered for the holidays, of course, and the vaccination rates have been down this year. We'll take a look at those post-holiday COVID numbers, that and much more coming your way in 30 minutes on News 3 Now at 6. And we want to check back in with Gary. He's got a final check of the forecast.
It's just cloudy out there right now. There might be a flurry or two of snow or maybe even a little patchy freezing drizzle. But right now, I haven't seen anything at the ground that's really indicated that. And certainly if it's occurring, it's too light to be detected by even high-resolution radar. Current temperatures are right around 30. Madison 29, Janesville at 30. I think this evening those temperatures aren't going to move very much. You can see here in Dane County right now, 29 degrees, and Stoughton 29 in Madison and 31 in Middleton. Planning your evening, look for a low temperature. Well, this evening, those temperatures holding nearly steady in the upper 20s to around 30 degrees. But remember, we have that first warned weather alert day in the forecast for Monday night into Tuesday of next week for a winter storm system. Right now, it looks like a moderate snowfall, maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of several inches, but also could be windy, and that could also add to the problems, too. So we'll keep an eye on that, again, mainly Monday night into Tuesday of next week. Before then, I don't see any big problems.
All right, something to keep an eye on, Gary. Thank you. We're back in 30 minutes with News 3 Now at 6, and the CBS Evening News is next. Stay tuned.